Agriculture is Florida's second largest industry, contributing over $104 billion to the state's economy each year. Florida also houses 15 seaports and 20 international airports, which open pathways for pests and diseases to enter our state. One of the most detrimental pests that could enter Florida agriculture is going to be the Mediterranean fruit fly. The Mediterranean fruit fly is a member of the Trophiidae family. The females have an ovipositor, which they use to puncture the ripe fruit and deposit their eggs into the fruit. After 1 to 3 days, the eggs hatch into larvae. The larvae then feed throughout the fruit or vegetable, and making tunnels and pathways and leaving necrosis, making the fruit totally unmarketable and unedible. Nobody wants to eat that. One of the reasons that the medfly is so detrimental, should it get established in our agriculture, in our crops, is its host range. The medfly has a huge host range. According to the Trapper's Handbook, the medfly has over 250 host plants that it will attack. This is pretty much anything that's a fleshy fruit or vegetable is fair game. That leaves your mangoes, your guavas, papaya, Suriname cherry, lychees. Any of these fruits that we grow here in Florida are citrus, are vulnerable to the Mediterranean fruit fly. Another reason the medfly is so dangerous is its proficient breeding habits. A single female can lay 300 to 800 eggs in her lifetime. And her lifetime is from egg to sexual maturity is 3 weeks. So you can see how, if not detected early, this medfly could really get out of hand. The Florida Department of Agriculture and the United States Department of Agriculture work together to detection. Early detection is the key to keep these pests out. Now, one of the things they're doing are traps. There are 2 different traps that they use. One's called a Jackson trap. You might have seen them hanging in your trees or just driving around and wondering what that is. It's a little white teepee. It's a little cardboard teepee. Inside contains a lure, and on the bottom of the teepee is a sticky board. So the lure draws in the flies, and the sticky board traps them. The other type of lure is called a multi-lure. Now this lure uses more of a bait type lure. It draws the insects in. It's a container with a clear top, yellow bottom. Again, you might have seen them hanging in your mango tree. The flies would fly into it after the lure, can't figure out how to get out, fall down and drown into the solution. These are both very effective for detecting fruit fly in the area. But the most interesting is got to be the sterile insect release program. Now this is when they take these medflies are reared, and they irradiate the larva of the medfly. And then they inject them with a fluorescent powder. I'll tell you why in that minute. Okay, so what happens is they rear these pupa into adulthood, and after about 5 days, they cool them, load them onto airplanes, and fly them out to target areas, places that are at a high risk for international travel and infected fruit coming into the country. And what happens is the fruit fly, the Mediterranean fruit fly female, only needs to breed once in her lifetime to produce all of these eggs. So they release these sterile males, and so if there is a wild fly, a wild female out there, she can breed with these sterile males, and there will be no offspring produced. She won't look for another mate. She's already been bred. So it's a very interesting concept. I got to witness this in 2010. We had an emergency program in Boca Raton. The airplane flew over and dropped thousands of these fruit flies. They were on the sidewalks, on the roads. they chilled them to a nice cool temperature, so they were dormant until they landed. And then as they heated up, they began to wake up and flew off to go do their business. So it was a very interesting program to be a part of. So with Florida, all the international airports that we have and international travelers, and maybe it's you going internationally to go visit a relative. Well, don't bring back any fruit. So far, we're protected, and let's keep it that way. And by the way, the reason for the fluorescent powder on these sterile flies is the traps draw them in. So when they find these med flies in their traps, they put them under a black light and know that it is a sterile fly and not a wild fly. So it's all very interesting, and let's protect our agriculture and our state. Thank you.